Most people are familiar with the term caucus due to the caucuses in Iowa and their status as the first vote in the presidential nomination process. There are actually two types of caucuses, an unassembled caucus and an assembled caucus. An unassembled caucus, also known as a firehouse caucus, is most similar to voting on Election Day, except the election is run by the Legislative Nominating Committee instead of the State Board of Elections. The Legislative Nominating Committee sets the hours for the caucus and its location. While the caucus is ongoing, individuals check in and volunteers verify that they are registered voters in the appropriate jurisdiction. Once verified, they complete declaration forms stating they are Democrats, and then they are given blank ballots. The voters take their blank ballots to the voting area and complete their ballot. Then they cast their ballots in the ballot box. At the end of the caucus, the voting location is closed and the teller committee tallies the vote. Once the tally is complete, the chair of the Legislative Nominating Committee notifies the candidates who won and who lost. An assembled caucus is a meeting of people to select a nominee. The Legislative Nominating Committee sets the time and location of the caucus. The caucus will have a specified time to begin check-in, as well as a specified time to end check-in and to begin the meeting portion of the caucus. While the check-in for the caucus is ongoing, individuals check in and volunteers verify that they are registered voters in the appropriate jurisdiction. Once verified, they complete a declaration form stating they are a Democrat. At the end of the specified check-in time, the doors to the caucus room are closed. The chairperson then calls the caucus to order. Caucus business, including appointing officers and approving the rules, is completed. The teller committee establishes the number of people in the room who can participate in the caucus, and they present that number to the chair. Rules for an assembled caucus vary. In some cases, there is no secret ballot. Instead, the voting process consists of open discussion, debate, and finally a voice vote. Attendees physically divide themselves into groups based on their preferred candidates. There is usually even a group of undecided caucus goers who wait to be courted by supporters of the different candidates. In other cases, the rules will call for participants to vote by secret ballot. When this is the case, the chair of the caucus will call on the teller committee to distribute the ballots to the participants. The voters then complete their ballots. The voters then cast their ballots in the ballot boxes distributed by the teller committee. Once all the votes are cast, the caucus chair will call for a recess. The teller committee then tallies the votes. Once the teller committee completes the tally of votes, the chair of the teller committee presents the results to the chair of the caucus. The chair then reconvenes the caucus and announces the results. The rules of some caucuses require that the winner must carry more than 50% of the vote. If this is the case and no one receives greater than 50% of the vote, the lowest vote getter is dropped and voting is repeated until a winner can be declared. Once again, the teller committee tallies the vote and presents the results to the chair. The voting process will continue until a candidate receives over 50% of the vote and a winner can be declared. And then the caucus is adjourned.